Sons of Eternity, melodic power metal from Germany, follow up their debut album from 2023, which was titled End of Silence, with a brand new release, Human Beast, delivering 9 hook-driven melodic metal tracks with themes such as dealing with inner conflict, persisting in the face of adversity, and the effects of technology on modern society.
The songwriting on this album is just really fantastic. There's so much strength in the rhythm, guitaring, and the lead melodies that they do, complemented by the vocal melodies. Sons of Eternity, the song, for example, had everything I want in a metal song. Great interplay between the rhythm and the lead guitar, with, of course, a great lead riff. Interesting but also comfortable chord progressions and some progressive elements, actually, sprinkled into the song, especially at the start. And catchy chorus, memorable lyrics. And this kind of was a theme throughout the album, actually. Like, each song had their own kind of feel. The album was cohesive as well.
I noticed that too. It's kind of like you never get stuck in the same place too long. And while the band is the band, they got their sound and they got their style, but each song has a different theme. But it all kind of fits together as the full package. There is a lot of, you said, strength in the guitar playing and the composition, the lyrics as well. There's some really inspirational themes, like The Fight. That song has some amazing lyrics about, making your life better in the face of adversity. Wherever far you come, you can always go further, just pushing it. So, and I think The Line, that's got some real grit to it as well. I won't walk the line, I am stronger than you, I won't be like you. All that stuff, it just fits that metal style perfectly. But, things like that have been done so many times in the last 30, 40 years. But these guys, it just sounds fresh. The solo's awesome in The Fight as well, I had to put that one in. One thing that really stood out to me while I was listening to this album was it's got a very old school approach in style and composition and lyric writing, and it's presented with a really crisp modern production, which I thought takes you into familiar territory, but it also gives it something new, which helps to make it fresh on a style that we all grew up with.
We're living in the darkness and we're longing for a sin. We never lose our hope 'cause we were born to win. I'm dying in your arms.
I think the vocals are really powerful and very suited to this style of music. I think it's got just the right amount of grit, but also he's got some parts where there's like really melodic, clean tone singing. Got a really powerhouse voice, and his tone's very suited to this style of metal, but just the right amount of grit. But when they dial it back, when there's some clean tone, he's got just that right amount of not really emotive content, but just his voice is gentle enough to fit that kind of laid back, and there's a few melody intros and some mellow parts in the middle, so it's got like that harsh and clean. It's not even really harsh, it's more of a gritty classic heavy metal style, which it actually reminds me of Kai Hansen from early Halloween and his other band he had, Gamma Ray. So I think if you like that style of metal, you'll probably enjoy this album as well.
He can really get up high if he wants to as well, which he does. He doesn't overdo that, but he does a couple of times in the album, which he does it at the perfect moment. Suits the song, suits the moment in the song. So he can really sing, this guy, but he sings for the song rather than for himself. That's how it seemed to me anyway.
I definitely agree. There's some moments where he just really does hit those high notes, and it is it's a talent. It's a unique thing to him, but like you said, doesn't overdo it. It just suits the song and it comes at the right moment. He could show it off if he wanted to. There's a lot of clean tone and quieter moments throughout the album, but I wouldn't say it's a quiet album. Just it's got enough moments that break it up. There's some intros, there's some verses where they do dial it back a bit, which makes these songs engaging, just like what's coming next.
Yeah, they're quite dynamic, aren't they? And it does keep you interested in the album as a whole, but yeah, definitely in the song. And when those moments do come in, like a breakdown or an acoustic break, I'm enjoying the song as it is, but it just pulls me in even more and think, oh wow, that's a cool shift, and where is it going to go now? And it might build again, or I'm not sure if any of them fade out. I think they do just have a quiet moment and then get on with the song again. But they're very good at doing that, actually. I've said this before, but the songs are not all the same. Tearing Down the Walls actually had a bit of a hard rock feel about this one, as opposed to kind of just the metal. They do heavy metal, that's their thing. But this one had a real kind of, it fit in on the album, but it was more leaning towards just a bit of a rock vibe.
Slight change of pace in there. I just thought it was cool. It just breaks things up and it adds a little bit of diversity from song to song.
Yeah. Another favourite song of mine was When Fantasy Dies. They released this one as a single, and I believe this is a song we first heard last week in Metal on Trial, which is what led us to listen to the album and then do this review, because we really like that song. I just love it when you can hear different, so the production of that song, when you can hear different elements in each ear, just the way they do that at the start was excellent. Production overall on this album is fantastic, by the way. But yeah, this song was just a killer. It's probably my favourite song on the album. Nice guitar solo. There were some backing vocals too towards the end.
On that song, When Fantasy Dies, the solo you mentioned, that and pretty much every solo on this album, the note clarity, just the precision playing. He's not like a massive shredder, but everything he plays is fast, slow, bending. Just that articulation is just perfect, and it's captured beautifully with the production. So everything's just balanced nicely. But those solos are just awesome icing on the cake whenever they come along. Like you were saying, the different layers, the different sides that things are panned to, all that clarity is all there really nicely, and the acoustic moments. So that is definitely a song that was meant to be a single. It just leads you into the album. So I certainly agree that's an awesome song on the album.
When fantasy dies, we've reached the point of no return. How it's over when fantasy dies. Oh, there is no more escape from reality. When fantasy dies.
Human Beast, the harmonized solos on that were fantastic, and in the closing moments, the guitar and the vocals actually were harmonizing as well, and I thought that was a fantastic way to wind the song down. That was so cool.
Yeah, the solo was great. That was probably the standout solo for me. But then it pulls back into this acoustic kind of section. Just like pull it right back, and then that it's beautiful, and then they build and build and build and go right through to the end. Just the songcraft on this album, it's so good. The songwriting is so good.
I got a question for you, Belle, because I know you're as big a fan of this band as I am, but there's a song on this called Resistance, and the intro chords were harmonically reminiscent of Thin Lizzy's Johnny. Did you get that?
No, I didn't get that. But when you said Resistance, I'm thinking, I bet you I know which band he's thinking of. It reminded me of Queensryche.
Yeah.
I got Queensryche vibes in that song, actually.
It does have a Queensryche feel, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in the vocals. Resistance. Yeah.
Yes.
It's got that deep, but yeah.
And the way the chords shift up. Yes. It was just so Queensryche-y. I really like that song.
It is a cool song. They made it their own. They've got their influences, obviously, because everyone's got their influences. But it's definitely a bit of a Queensryche in the chorus. But the intro, listen to that, and then listen to the intro to Johnny. Obviously, one's hard rock and one's heavy metal. The guitar tone's different, the feel, the energy. But that chord progression is very reminiscent. And it's just like, that's cool, because you can't go wrong with Thin Lizzy as an
No.
I think it's pretty obvious that both of us enjoyed the composition and the different moods, but when you have an album like that, it takes you to different places. You want kind of a grand finale at the end. And I love albums that deliver that. So Abyss of Life, that is a truly epic closing moment when a good album has a killer closing track, and this is almost 7 minutes, and killer riffs, solos, clean tone section, and really interesting changes. It goes from everything from the fast metal that we know to those little quieter moments to a really bluesy kind of solo section, and it builds back up for like a final moment. But there's a bit of death grunts in the vocals, which was a really nice touch because the rest of the album was completely devoid of that. So to have them in there, just like, oh, this is effective. This is something different, a fresh texture. And I thought that just worked really well. So everything was seamlessly put together, just flowed, and that was just an epic closing to a pretty cool album.
So this is the band's second album, and I thought I would go back and check out their first album, which I did earlier today, and it's good. I really like it. It's similar. I think this one's a bit heavier, actually. And I believe in a lot of ways they've leveled up on this album, which you want to hope a band does, but yeah, a bit heavier. I think production overall was better, instrumentation, songwriting, they've really kind of fine-tuned their craft a lot. So the other one is definitely worth a listen, and I'll go back and listen to it some more because there's just a great band, like the melodic heavy metal, thought-provoking, relatable lyrics, and that you can actually understand. That's another thing I noticed is his diction. The words come through. You're not trying to figure out, I can hear words, but I can't understand what he's saying. Like, I could understand every word, which is so important. I mean, these are great lyrics. You want them to be understood when you're singing them. You don't want people to have to go and read them.
So that brings us to the end of our discussion on Sons of Eternity's album, Human Beast.
If you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe and share and all of those good things. Every week we check out brand new albums being released, and from those short grabs we find songs that we love, which lead to album reviews like this. Supporting our channel would be greatly appreciated. But until next time, we'll see you
in the darkness.